Good morning, everybody. Here in Wisconsin, we got a little bit of snow and ice overnight. It's not too bad, but it's still cold. But I'm thinking ahead. I think it's maybe about, I don't know, 6 weeks before spring comes in. So, with that information, I can hang in there a little bit longer. I hope that you're having a good day or a great start to your day. Okay. Well, let's get to our story. Oh, I forgot to tell you, grab your popcorn and your favorite drink. Okay, it's time for another story. And this one is called Alone in the Gulf. From dusk until dawn, he watches all the time. We had only been in this new town for a few hours before we needed to drive to our next destination. Leaving our belongings at the hotel, we carefully followed our computer-generated directions through the city. As we traveled down the long street, we could see a huge wooden structure. It resembled a straw hut that you would see next to a beach. A few yards from it was the vast waters of the Gulf of Mexico. My husband, children, and I were there to attend the rehearsal dinner in honor of a friend who was getting married that weekend. The inside of the building was as intriguing as the outside. One side of the building had no walls, only wooden picnic tables with matching benches. In the middle of the floor was an area for dancing. There were jugglers, volleyball games, and upbeat dance music played by a disc jockey in the outside area. Meanwhile, beads of sweat continued to roll down our faces and along our spines as we greeted new arrivals and tried to relax after our long journey to Gulfport, Alabama. An hour later, John arrived and sat at our table. Yeah, I can remember that time. It was extremely hot. I mean, you could just feel the drips of sweat, water rolling down your back, all under your arms. And it was something else. In a crowded building, as guests and patrons moved in all directions, John, a longtime friend, began to tell us about his experience driving from the nearest airport to the rehearsal dinner. He said that he had leased a convertible, but didn't have enough time to figure out how to put the top down, since he worried about getting to the rehearsal dinner on time. And just imagine, you're on a trip and you get to the airport, you get on, you get off, and people are in front of you, people are behind you, and then you get into the airport itself, into the terminal, and then you have to find where the car rental is, okay? And so you may get there or you may not. So I can imagine how rushed he was, trying to figure out, okay, I got to get the car. I don't want to be late. And I've never been here before, so I really don't know where I'm going. John's story was funny and made our situation much more comfortable. In a lighthearted voice, he continued his story by telling us that as he headed down the highway, there were cars moving slowly in both lanes. This made it impossible for him to pass in either lane, causing him to eagerly wait for an opportunity to pass the slower traffic. John said that all he could think about was getting to the rehearsal dinner on time. So when the opportunity came, he quickly sped around the cars. As he glanced at the slower drivers, he could see the expression on their faces. And they seemed to be asking the question, where are you going? Now I am asking you the same question. Where are you going? It's important for all of us to have a purpose. We should all have goals and we should know where we're going and have an idea of how we're going to get there. Your plan is not going to be perfect because sometimes you just have to go off course. But then you try to get back on course. And so what I'm asking you to do, if you have somewhere to go, you're going somewhere, set some dates, time limits on it, okay? How you're going to go from here to here, from here to here, okay? Because that way then it holds you accountable, okay? In this life, you want to have purpose. And you have to start somewhere. So why not start today? Begin to write your own story. Don't let anybody write your story. You write your own story. Okay? Start. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Because you're not perfect. There's only one perfect being, and that's God. Okay? So if you make a mistake, start over and learn from that experience and move on. Move on. Start writing your story today. Now, if you're watching this video and you're interested in hearing another story, then subscribe to the channel so that way you'll know when I upload that story. I want this channel to be interactive. I'd like for you to write down your comments and tell us about where you are in your journey. Have you started? Do you know where you're going? Where are you in the process? And jot down some things that you've learned so that the rest of us can learn from you as well. You know, it's about encouraging and motivating each other. Okay? So go out, write that story. Okay? See you next time.